Welcome back, guys. Air here for your daily update. It is the 27th. We're almost at the end of the month, so maybe we'll peek at the monthly candle today, as well as the weekly higher time frames, lower time frames. I'm gonna spend some time today talking about the patterns, the market structure. It's the same. So this was that big rip to the top side, January. We went to a descending wedge pattern starting really towards the end of January. We got that fake out to the downside, some retracement here before we blasted off to that kind of next level. And then what happened in March, you had the same pattern play out. You had that descending wedge pattern play out where we got that fake out to the downside. Now, this fake out to the downside wasn't as big, but the channel drawdown was bigger. Then you broke to the top side. These descending wedge patterns like this typically break to the upside. Sometimes you get the fake out to the downside, but more often than not, this is an indication that the market's gonna rip up. So we ripped up again here, beginning middle of June, right? A couple weeks ago, I would say, on the 18th, 19th. And then we've been falling in a descending wedge pattern through the end of June, through all of July here. Been pretty stagnant. So are we going to get a fake out breakout to the top side? Was this already the bottom, or is the bottom not in yet? We're going to take a look at that today. Top of that, guys, like I said, the dollar ripping. The dollar is just killing it today. The Dow Jones is on pace right now. It's flat right now, but it is on pace to have a 14th consecutive green day. S&P ripping. The S&P right now is 43 consecutive days without a negative 1% day. NASDAQ ripping to the top side. NASDAQ's gonna be coming up facing some stiff resistance to that kind of all-time high there. Still got about 5% to go. Could be this week, could be next week, but we're gonna be faced with a potential another all-time high on the NASDAQ. So the markets look bullish. Bitcoin, the overall market structure appears to be bullish. Whether or not we had the momentum to make another all-time high, right? So, not all-time high, but yearly high on Bitcoin is gonna be dependent on a few factors, which we'll take a look at today. So you can see these rips to the top side for Bitcoin. This one was, 21% or 33% really to this kind of top there. This rip here was 20%. So, can we go another 20% up from where we're currently at? That would be a $35,000 Bitcoin. It's possible. Not likely till maybe this fall or this winter, and we're going to get into why. But we could break to the top side of this channel and then just kind of fall back in it as well. We're going to look at all the scenarios today. We're going to dissect some altcoins. We got some news to go over. So we did get the GDP numbers. We have a huge regulatory bill passing through Congress right now. It's already cleared one committee, possibly two already this morning here. US leading indicators point to a recession starting soon. Bitcoin whales are in accumulation mode. We're going to dissect that a little bit. Currently in a little bit of a short right now, up 8%, small play. I shouldn't say small play. It's a $50,000 play or about $1 million Bitcoin play, so it's not a small play, but small win. I mean, 7.9%, I'll take it, like I said. So we're going to get into it today. Overall, the crypto market over the last 24 hours, for the most part, is green. Bitcoin right now, pretty flat over the 24 hours. Altcoins, kind of a mixed bag. Some up, some down on this new daily candle. We're going to dissect some of that, get into it. We got some great news. We got some great charts. We're going to look at some things in crypto Twitter, get you caught up in a short, sweet video. We are in Discord trading all the time. I am posting the T8, the sauce in Discord every morning, every evening, all day long. I called what would happen during the FOMC and post FOMC yesterday. Hop on in. First 100 people that do join. What is going on? It's freaking out. First 100 people that do join are going to be grandfathered into any future pay gates that I have, where you get it for free for lifetime. Building community here. Going to keep it small, tight knit, where everyone kind of knows each other's names, bouncing ideas off of each other. Enough on that. Give me a try. Hop on in. If you don't like it, leave. Big deal. But without further ado, guys, let's just jump right into it. Hitting you with the news first today, getting you caught up. U.S. government dropping political campaign finance charges against SBF. This is now, I believe, the 5th or possibly 6th charge that has been dropped against Sam Bankman-Fried in this trial, in this dilemma. A lot of speculation going on that he's out here ratting he is giving the government, or gave the government, access to the exchange head private, I think it was a signal group that they had. You know, is he ratting? You know, we just don't know right now. Is he going to skate? Is he going to spend a couple months in Club Fed after all this? We know about his political ties, his political affiliations. We just don't know right now. Here he is leaving court this morning, based off, or after the fact, right? After he got that charge tossed.
Are you changing your plea?
Abruptly.
Mr. Bankman-Fried,
Why make the contact?
Are you worried you're going to prison?
I mean, that's that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is huge. Coinbase CEO says vote yes for crypto regulatory bills. This has a lot of support, both from exchange heads, people on crypto Twitter, influencers. U.S. lawmakers continue to deliberate on the FIT21 Act and the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act. Brian Armstrong, Coinbase CEO, encourages Americans to contact representatives in support of these bills. Look, no matter what you think about crypto regulation, it is going to happen in the United States. Better it happens sooner than later. We see what's happening. The SEC is out here and is regulating by enforcement. We see they lost the XRP, but there's many other lawsuits. They are now appealing that decision. The SEC should not be out here making regulation through enforcement. We need proper regulation. Right now, you can hardly even sign up for a futures exchange in the United States of America. There's, I think, 1 or 2 exchanges that you can sign up for. The rest have cut you off. It is tough out here to be an American who wants to trade futures, period. We need a clear-cut regulatory framework in the United States in order for crypto to prosper here. All these cryptos, all these altcoins, all these companies, all these exchanges are saying, please regulate us. Give us a regulatory framework so we can follow it. Instead, because that has not happened, you're seeing them all leave the United States or close their doors to United States citizens. So this is a bipartisan bill, nonpartisan, the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act. It is simple but very important. So today's markup is a critical first step towards providing regulatory certainty that benefits Americans and fosters innovations right here at home. Tom Emmer is pro-crypto, at least on the surface, right? He's from Minnesota. He's from my home state here, Minnesota 6th District. So I'm just going to play this quick little clip for you. He's going to talk about it. You need to know about this. This is very bullish if we start passing a regulatory framework that is fostering and benefits Americans and innovation right here.
Thank you, Stephanie. Hopping off of our hockey soapbox this week, I wanted to talk about something that may be flying under everybody's radar. Today, our nonpartisan legislation, the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, is going to be marked up in the Financial Services Committee. Crypto and blockchain technology provide an important opportunity for our country to lead in the digital asset space. I commend Chair McHenry for moving forward with this. Today, we've got an important opportunity to make progress towards providing regulatory certainty that benefits consumers and fosters innovation right here at home. This bill specifically deals with what blockchain-related entities qualify as money transmitters across the country. Major discrepancies in the state-by-state framework on this issue have stifled innovation and confused the marketplace on how to comply with money transmission requirements. The Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act will clear things up by affirming for the blockchain community that if you don't custody consumer funds, you aren't a money transmitter. It's simple, but very important. A clear and consistent regulatory landscape will ensure we do not drive this transformative technology overseas or drive American consumers to bad actors. This bill will allow blockchain innovation to flourish right here in the U.S., and I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues on the committee to get it over the finish line. And with that, I turn it over to our leader, Steve.
So my only qualm is I hope they hash out exactly what custodial means. If a DeFi app holds coins for someone, are they considered a money transmitter? So I look forward to seeing how this is marked up through the process, but this is an important first step. Pay attention to this. Some other big news this morning, GDP grew at 2.4% pace in the second quarter. This smashed expectations despite recession calls. This just goes to show you that a lot of the economists don't even know what the hell's happening with the economy right now. So huge. I mean, the markets reacted, not so much Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing its own thing, but the traditional stock markets just smashing off of this news here this morning. But this is big. I mean, I think we had JP Morgan downgrading from 1% expectations to 0.9% yesterday, a day before it was released. And this just blew expectations out of the water. This is, I guess, bullish. Are we going to have a soft landing now? Are we going to go into recession? Well, that brings us to the next article. The U.S. consumer appears to be strong, right? U.S. leading indicators, however, are pointing to a recession starting soon. There's a lot of mixed signals in the economy, just like there's a lot of mixed signals in crypto at the moment. But an index designed to track turns in the U.S. business cycles fell for the 15th straight month in June, dragged down by a weakening consumer outlook and increased unemployment claims, marking the longest streak of decreases since the lead up to the 2007 to 2009 recession. The Conference Board on Thursday said its leading index, a measure that anticipates future economy, declined by 0.7% in June to 106.1, following a revised decrease of 0.6% in May. The decline was slightly greater than the median expectation among economists. So just something to kind of have in the back of your mind that, first of all, a lot of these economists seem to be on different pages right now. A lot of these bank heads seem to be in different pages right now. Some calling for a recession, some saying we're fine. None of them got the GDP estimates correct. Nobody did. So just keep that in mind. Anytime you're reading articles like this or you're reading expectations, is we just don't know really until those numbers come out, because oftentimes, I shouldn't say oftentimes, but sometimes they're wrong. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I talked about this in Discord a little bit last night, but Bitcoin whales are in accumulation mode right now. They're accumulating and holding on to their coins as price remains range bound. Not only that, but they are stacking. They are stacking stable coins right now at a pace we haven't seen in a long time. But the exchange whale ratio, SMA over 30, pretty flat right now. What this tells me is they're waiting for a move to the downside before loading up to propel us to the top side, kind of like I talked about at the beginning of our video, like we have seen here, where we pump up, we kind of slowly, sluggishly fall off in a descending wedge pattern, fall to the bottom side, whales load up, propel us to the top side. I was trying to find some like juice, some drama to go over on crypto Twitter. I found one thing, but I'm probably going to make that a separate video. It's quiet. Everyone's just kind of speculating, talking about X, talking about SBF this morning, talking about the long line of people lining up to have their eyes scanned for WorldCoin. This is insane, majority in third world countries. They're paying people, I think, €50 to get their eyeballs scanned. I've talked about WorldCoin in previous videos. This is insanity to me. The things that people will do for $50. I get it. $50 to a lot of people in a third world or a developing country is a lot of money. Now, like I talked about in the previous video, they tracked 150,000 accounts to Kenya, and those accounts have ended up on the black market. WorldCoin is a shit show. A complete shit show. It's stupid. It's anti-crypto, super centralized, on a super centralized blockchain, Ethereum. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's the wrong direction. I'm happy that most of like the first world crypto countries, I should say, are against this. Democrats continue their onslaught against crypto, led by the Biden administration, the SEC, the CTFC. This is Brad Sherman, a congressman from California, a Democratic congressman, DNC from California. Just listen to this. It's insane.
We are told that cryptocurrency is very innovative. Look at the incredible financial innovation of Enron and WorldCom, and reflect on the fact that I don't believe that Satoshi Nakamoto was innovative.
So whoever Satoshi Nakamoto is, look, I used to vote left in my younger years, as I think most people do, right? Since then, they have pushed me to the right. I don't consider myself Republican or Democrat. I despise both of them. But since you're pitted between the two sides, right? You only have two people to choose from. Let's be honest. You have the right and the left, Democrat and Republican. It would seem like Republicans are more open to cryptocurrency than Democrats are. I'm a single issue voter right now since this is my livelihood. I love crypto. This is literally my job. I'm a day trader. That is my job. That is how I make money. I don't make any money making these videos. I'm voting with my pocketbook, man. It's that simple. I mean, this isn't an anomaly. This isn't just one oddity, a one-off from the Democrats. This is how all the Democrats are talking right now. Lastly, if we hop on the chart, so the ratio of discussions related to Bitcoin versus other top 100 assets has surged. So maybe we're going to start seeing a little bit of FOMO again, or maybe it was just a one-off from yesterday. But Bitcoin dominance from social mentions rising again. So let's just take a look at higher time frames. So this is obviously the 4 hour. We could look at weekly or daily, and it's going to tell us the same thing. So I just want to paint that scenario again for you. I'm not going to spend too much time on this since we already talked about it. Descending wedge, pump, descending wedge, pump, descending wedge, probably going to pump again. This might go on for a while. Like this one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one was almost 3 months, of being in this descending wedge. We've only been in this one for about a month, 5 weeks now. We've been inside of this one. So it's possible that this could bring us, into possibly September, October. The bullish time of year is allegedly October. If you just look at past history, with the exception of possibly last year with all the FTX stuff. But that is very, very possible that this happens. There's not a lot of momentum right now. The overall market structure is still bullish. We are still making, right, higher highs, higher high, higher high, higher high. We're still making lower lows, right? There's your low, lower low. Is this low in yet? I mean, who knows, right? But probably not. So, we could come all the way down, make a lower low. As long as we make a lower low, it's still bullish. It's still bullish. We're still in that bullish posture. So overall, even though short term it looks a little dumpy, as long as these supports hold up, we should still make a lower low. So I just want to get that out of the way, that we're still bullish, even though I'm going to sound a little bearish short term wise in this video. When you look at the higher time frames, whether it's the week, the 6, the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the daily, it's looking like there's still more downside coming. How much downside? Well, weekly is still playing off this bearish divergence, right? So on the momentum, bearish divergence. So on the pretty flat, pretty even, not really a bearish divergence on the RSI here anyways. VWAP's coming down. So what that means is tell me that the volume is weighted to the downside. So people are taking profits right now. The money flow is still green, but it's starting to come down. So that would be a bullish divergence on the money wave since this was a higher high. But we have to see how it plays out. Is it going to be a huge crash? Is it just going to be a little bit of a retracement? I'm leaning towards just a little more retracement, but this bearish divergence is still playing out. And you go to the daily time frame, right? There's your bearish divergence. We haven't quite made a bearish divergence here yet. It's printing a green dot. This is on the current daily candle. That couldn't change. We are negative right now, but it's pretty flat. So if we stop here, that is a higher low. That would be bullish on the daily time frame. Maybe we get a little pump back up to the top side. But if we continue to bleed a little bit throughout the day, we make a bearish divergence, that's not going to be a good look. That's going to be a lower low. So let's turn everything off. Let's turn off my indicators. We're going to stay on the daily time frame. I'm going to remove all my drawings. Boom. There we go. So technically we are bear flagging out, right? We talked about this yesterday. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but if we break out to the downside, there's a potential, we could come down to a $28,000 Bitcoin again. That'll be a key level to retest. You can see, right? Boom, 28,000. You can see where it was previous resistance here, support here, resistance, support and resistance a bunch on the last kind of run to the top side before they kind of chased down. So that is a very, very key level to hold. Is that the bottom? Who knows? We'll have to kind of watch. You take it one level at a time. I don't like to speculate, get too far ahead of myself, as a lot of you guys know. But a visit to the downside would be in the cards. Look how thick 28,000 is on Bookmap here. You can see the thick levels of liquidity. It has cleared out above us. There was a bunch yesterday, 30,000, 30,500. There still is some, but it's not heavy. So 31,000 is that next big level of resistance as we've been talking about here, and then 31.5, 32, but 31's not even that thick. It's really moved up to 32,000. So could that be once we claim some of this liquidity, which that would be my guess what happens. We're coming down to 28. We're testing that, seeing what happens there. Our bull's going to step in with their accumulation we just talked about. Whales going to step in with all the accumulation they're doing right now, all those stable coins they're buying. Are they going to step in there and say, hey, this is the bottom, let's pump it up to that $32,000 level? That's kind of what it's looking like right now. It just depends on what happens at this $28,000 level. So we are in bearish structure on the smaller term, higher time frames, right? So we made a lower low. I mean, it's that simple, right? You kind of had your lows here. They're pretty much tied right at that 29.5. That's why we were talking about back then that was a key level to hold. There's your lower low. So, can we come up? Yes. Is it going to be a higher low though? Right? I mean, there's your high. That could technically be another one there. Maybe not yet. We'll have to watch and see. Or is this the high with the FOMC and everything that went on yesterday and the GDP today? And are we making a new trend, right? Are we making a new trend here? Because look, let's remove these indicators here. Let me show you something. I mean, that's a pretty solid trend starting from that kind of top there, right? Boom. I mean, there you go. It's another descending wedge. Do we continue to come down, right? It's a decent channel. It's not a great tradable channel. This is boring right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. These real tight, high and tight time ranges like this, or price swings, not a lot going on. We're gonna dial into smaller time frames now. Remove the drawings. Let's scoot on down to a 4-hour time frame. Let's quickly just turn back on the indicators. Let's try to figure out where the moving averages are. And as you can see, we're below all of them. Every single moving average, the 50, the 100, 21, etc., etc. So we are now below. So that is a bearish posture. Probably time for a little bit of retracement, like we talked about, maybe down to that $28,000 level. Doesn't mean it happens today or tomorrow, but it is coming. So says the liquidity, so says the charts, all the bearish divergences. We've talked about it with large spot orders. I mean, look at this. It's just falling off of a cliff. The whales, like I said, are accumulating. They took profits and they continue to fall off. Spots at like an all-time low, not an all-time low, like a 2-year low on spot orders. Now, perpetuals look like they were picking up, and then look what happened. They've fallen off of a cliff again. And if we zoom out, it'll take a second to catch up here. You can see they're falling off a cliff too. Summer lull. That's why I'm talking about we could be in this for a few more weeks. We could be in this range for a few more weeks. We get into September, October, fall starts coming around. People are back from vacations, summer vacations. Kids are back in school. People are sitting from the computers thinking about their finances again. So that is a possible scenario there. But what I want to talk about is these smaller time frames. Unfortunately, we don't have much of a tradable channel right now. What I would love to see is for a range to form here. We keep losing it, and we keep losing it to the downside. So it's more clear here. So when we look at the smaller time frames, you got your high. This was that pump to the top, XRP news, and then that kind of all retraced the next day. So you made your low, lower low, lower low. You have your higher low, or lower high, I should say, lower high. And then was this another lower high? And we're coming down to make a lower low? Probably, guys. I mean, it's just, I can only go off of what the charts tell me. Right now, everything's telling me bearish posture, Lux Algo, Market Cipher A. Everything. Like, let's just take a look at Market Cipher B, right? Let's take a look at Market Cipher B. You can see here, we're coming down again. Bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Boom, boom. VWAP is sharply coming down. Money flow was green, but I bet you that's going to come back down as well. So it's just looking like I'm saying, I'm targeting that $28,000 level right now. I'm going to negate that if we start making higher highs on these smaller time frames, right? We make a higher high on the 4-hour time frame, I'm going to start switching my thinking. But really, we need to close the candle above $30,000 again in order for me to kind of be like, okay, I can breathe. We're getting back into bullish posture. That $30,000 to $31,000 accumulation range was great. Made a lot of money there. Right now, it's getting tougher and tougher to make money. Yes, you can trend line this out. So let's remove these drawings. Let's turn off the indicators, Control-Alt-H, and let's make some trend lines here. Boom. There you go. Boom. There you go. Very, very simple here. Now, You short, you long. You short, you long. You short, you long. So this is your channel. This is your tradable channel right now until it's not. Now, typically this breaks to the top side. So at some point I would expect to move up a little bit, to maybe grab a little bit of liquidity above us, but not always. Not always. And all this liquidity sitting down here at 28,000. I'm not talking a huge run up. I'm talking about like a fake out breakout. Like, oh my God, we're going to get it. Nope. Right? One of those is going to happen. Whales love to do that stuff. That's why it's so important to watch the whale orders, the whale CVD line, because that's going to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Also, what tells you is going to happen before it happens, let's turn back on my indicators here, is the VWAP. Typically, the VWAP turns before the move comes because those orders are getting placed. So the VWAP typically happens, and then you get that bigger move. Now, it's on the sharper downturns, right? Not necessarily these kind of like more elongated turns. That's just chop. But those sharp turns, that's what you want to look out for when you're going to see a bigger move. Now, that works better on smaller time frames than it does on bigger time frames. I think that's it for Bitcoin. I got you those key levels. I showed you what liquidity looks like, what the whale orders, perp spots, and how I think we could just be in this kind of descending, wedge till fall. And, summers are a lull. That's just what happens. Don't tell that to the NASDAQ, to the S&P or the Dow Jones, though, because they're pumping their faces off right now. But it'll be interesting to see, like I said, what NASDAQ does when it gets to that resistance level. We're about 5% away from it right now. So we're going to take a look at total market caps, Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, and then a few altcoins before I leave you guys for the day. And then if something breaks off, like I said, well, we'll be back. But let's just get into some other things. Just checking in on the altcoin market in general. You can see where that XRP pump happened. This is your total 3 market cap. This is the market cap of all crypto minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's been the same thing. So we're making lower lows and lower highs, right? So it looks like it's turning around right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back into this bigger, larger time frame channel. So if we let's just go to the weekly here. Let's turn off my indicators. So let me make it a little bit cleaner for you guys. You can see this descending wedge here. It's eventually going to break to the upside. That's when alt season happens. This is going all the way back to the bull market. And it's just been bleeding. They've just been bleeding since. It's just the way it is right now. So we got some key resistances along the way here on these yellow dots. You can mark them out on your own chart, do what you want. But it looks like alts, more downside coming to alts. Bitcoin dominance holding pretty strong at about 50%. So if you go to smaller time frames, you can see it's possible right now that we've hit a local bottom. So it's possible that we got your round and bottom to the top, and we're gonna get another round and bottom, and it's gonna pump, bringing altcoins back down. Are we gonna retest 52%? It's possible. Tether dominance right now starting to kind of retrace a little bit, but it pumped up today. Nothing crazy here, other than I would probably target a potential increase here. So as Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes down to like that $28,000 level, it's going to drag everything else down with it. Rising Tether dominance. This is like my DXY for crypto. So I actually got to take off. Got a doctor's appointment, so I am not going to TA any altcoins in this video. If you want something TA'd for tomorrow's video, drop it down below. I will TA whatever altcoin you want. Or hop in Discord, discord.gg/Alpha Aere. We have an alt TA channel, boom, right here, where I post alt TAs all day long, every single day. Tons of alt TAs and calls that play out more often than they don't. Just say, hey, Air, can you TA this for me? And I will TA it for you instantly. But I get to my doctor's appointment, guys. I appreciate you all for watching today. We're about 30 minutes now. And do these every single day. So hop in Discord. Appreciate you guys. Smash that thumbs up button. Got you those key levels. Got you the news of the day. We looked at some things on crypto Twitter. I think I set you up pretty well for what to expect with the market and those key levels. And I'll be in Discord posting the drama. I mean, just look at this, right? I mean, this stuff, all this stuff should be a ton of money. It cost me a ton of money to belong to all of this stuff. Trust me. But appreciate you guys for watching. We'll catch you later.